right, don't start. All right, here we go. We're at the 10-second mark, Brandon. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we're live. Got it. What it do? What it do? What it do? It's your boy B. Damone in the building. This is episode 130 of Along the Wire. We have got Coach Gomez in the building. What's going on, man?
Not much, brother. Just a wonderful Sunday.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And we have got a nice episode for you, coming to you from Level Up Productions. And this episode is called Clear Picture. Clear Picture. We had some very big district games this past week. I'm going to start off a little bit different, though, because I want to talk a little bit about college for a split second.
Let's do it.
UTSA, 21-point comeback.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. It was so a tale of two halves. If you watched the game or if you didn't watch the game, man, I mean, you have the fumble, the recovery by Memphis in the end zone, and it's like, all right, what's going on? Because the game started off good. You know, you win the coin toss, you defer, you get a 3 and out, then boom.
Yeah.
So that resolve they showed is another level, because this is a game I thought, hey, Memphis looked terrible last week, and they got lucky with the special teams play. That I thought, you know, my prediction, if you followed on UTSA Rivals, is going to be birdsup.com. 34-21 was my prediction. And, I mean, they ended up winning.
34-21 who?
UTSA.
Okay.
Because I thought they were going to just be the better team, because Memphis just didn't look good versus Mississippi State. And I think UTSA's defense is better than Mississippi State. And they were giving up all these yards passing, which still showed up. But one thing I was glad to see is that Sincere was able to get rolling, and he played a very integral part.
Oh, for sure, man. I mean, just them kids just bearing down. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Their strength and conditioning program goes a long way, and it showed out there on the field, man. Those guys weren't getting bullied around. They were going pound for pound with Memphis.
Right.
You know what I mean? They never gave up. Yeah, some things didn't go their way early, but I think once they settled down, them game time jitters, especially it being a big game.
Exactly.
It was a huge game for them.
Exactly.
And once they settled down, I think once they are, hey, man, we can play with these guys. You know, like, they're not going to bully us around.
So did they eat the cheese?
They did not eat the cheese.
They did not eat the cheese. I didn't see any like eat the cheese type actions or moments in that game. I saw a squad that had to settle down and get focused.
Yeah. And
then come the second half.
And kudos to the coaches as well, making adjustments. You know what I mean? And not only that, sticking to the game plan as far as the running game.
Mm-hmm. And not freaking out, because I mean, you can freak out in your play calling and then just it's like bombs away. You know, we're down 21 points, but no, you definitely saw going into halftime that they wanted to slow it up, and they get the ball back afterwards, and you know, you saw them just stick to the script. So congrats to Coach Traylor, UTSA, Sincere, Frank, all you guys out there, Rashad.
I mean, you got a lot of SA guys on that squad.
Yeah. So congratulations to UTSA as well. And then once again, Texas looked like they should have looked, or perceived to could have looked, with the acquisition of Sarkisian as a coach. So you like to see them actually putting up points
that.
That
was already, you know, who was going to win the ball game. You know, it still got to be played, but those are the games they should win.
Like that. Exactly. Yeah. So it's good to see that. It's good to see, you know, because I had a friend text me and say, you know, this is crazy. I'm like, well, it can be entertaining to see doing what you're supposed to do done.
Yeah.
So now UTSA is on to UNLV next week at home. So pack the dome if you can. And then Texas is at TCU.
Yeah.
And then we had another San Antonio area kid, Ben Sims, score a touchdown, and Baylor beat Iowa State.
And JT Woods made the crucial interception,
clinched the game.
Yep. Steel product.
Exactly. And Ben Sims from Clark, you know, a lot of SA kids doing stuff everywhere. So you know, and Cobbs had a good game up in Wyoming, and they're undefeated at 4-0 too.
Yeah.
So, you know, congrats to everybody. SATX high school football balling out. And speaking of some ballers, we have got two today on the show right now. We have got Mr. Canaan Fairly. How's it going, man?
Going good, sir. Going good.
And we have got CJ Adair. What's going on, man?
Hey, what's going on?
So, want to thank y'all so much for giving us this time this morning. And we're gonna hop right in and ask the questions. That game, just like I was talking about the UTSA game, was a tale of two halves. Going into that second half, what was the mindset coming out as y'all were trailing and taking over?
Well, at Johnson, we have something called Jack Ball. And if we play Jack Ball, we will win any game. And Jack Ball is very fast, very physical. Our coach preaches it all the time. And, being down from 0 to 14 was a very tough thing to really accept, but it's called adversity. And adversity reveals character. So we definitely wanted to come back from it. And our mentality was to go out there and win ourselves a football game.
Awesome. Is that Jack Ball? Is that a acronym? The word Jack, or is it just something that's his definition of Jack Ball?
Excuse me, sir?
Is it an acronym for anything, or is it just Jack Ball?
No, sir. It's just Jack Ball.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Okay, awesome. So y'all defeat Brandeis 28-22, and a little bit before the show, I was talking to them about those last 30 seconds of the game.
Yeah.
You have the play that's the safety, and then you have the kickoff, and you have to cover you're kicking to Aiden, so Aiden doesn't get the kickoff return, and then it's the last couple plays of the game. CJ, this is more for you. What is the mindset in those last few plays for your defense?
Well, for being on the field, I mean, it's always staying focused, but being on the sideline, watching those guys get out there, because we had a special package for pass coverage for this last week. And I mean, there was a level of peace to it, because we all know we've been working really hard, but I mean, it was definitely scary for sure when we had a safety in the last minute of the game. So it was definitely scary, but in the end, it was a little peaceful, because we all went arm in arm and just knew whatever happens, we all played our hearts out, and thankfully we had the happy ending.
So, questioning you, Gomez, he said a word just now twice that I haven't heard used before in a situation like that. Peaceful. When you're coaching guys up and they're able to go out there and perform exactly how Johnson was able to, what does that make you feel? How does that make you feel as a coach?
I mean, that goes back to, their discipline. They're listening to what their coaches are saying. They trust in their coaches, and they're just going to go out and execute what coach says. And like he said, what happens. And they ended up coming up with the W. So, I mean, that's a question for me to you. How different has it been since Coach Soto has arrived?
Go ahead, Canaan.
It's been very different, I would say. At first we were a little bit skeptical about getting a new coach, because it was definitely a huge culture change, but it was a culture change in a very good way. He really was able to bond the team together. He really emphasized all four pillars that we build our football team upon. Our foundation is love, truth, and honor, and we all live by it.
Awesome, man. Awesome. And it shows that y'all have truly bought into it. Y'all are standing undefeated right now, and I look forward to seeing what y'all are going to be doing throughout the year, man.
So, you specifically, Cannon. So, Johnson is one of those programs that graduates D1 talent. And the past 2 years, I hate saying lost, but they've graduated Division I talent.
Yeah.
So this being the first season, they don't have Johnson or Ty there now. So you stepping up and being that guy on offense, and y'all have some young players at your position specifically. Is there anything that you take from playing with Shane and Ty that like you try to groom the talent coming up after you?
Well, I take it as it being my numbers being called. It's my turn, and I definitely want to go and seize my opportunity, because if I'm able to go and do that, I'll be able to definitely have a lot more better opportunities. Great moments come from great opportunities.
That's correct. That's a great mindset.
CJ, I saw a whole lot of you more so in that second half. It seemed like anytime there was a loss and y'all just had the run game from Brandeis kind of figured out, you were shooting gaps and you were making plays either at the line or behind the line of scrimmage. Was there anything that you specifically saw? Well, I'm not saying give away any of Brandeis's signals that like you picked up, but even if personally you can just answer that, was there anything that you personally saw that let you know where they were going to? Because you just shot through so many times, it was like every other play you're making that tackle.
Well, as the game goes on, doesn't matter what game it is, you get to know the other team a little bit better coming out that second half. You know what they're going to come out. You can watch as much film as you like, but it's always a little different in person. So
you
coming
start
out that
catching,
second half,
you caught the tendencies, basically, is what you're saying.
yes, catching some of the tendencies. But when you say shooting the gaps, our coaches are awesome. Seriously, they're gurus at this stuff. So lots of those plays that I was shooting gaps, they were sending me. It wasn't because I saw something.
Okay.
It's because our coaches are really great, and they know the game so well, and they call my number, and I just fly. So a lot of the time, it's our coaches calling our number. So a few times it was me sometimes seeing things and shooting the gaps, but a lot of it was our phenomenal coaches.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Doing their homework.
Well, then that's some incredible play calling as well, because it just got redundant, like the amount of times that he was just back there. It's like, is that 50 again? Is that 50 again? Like, we're up there in the press box and we're like, sheesh.
Yeah.
Like, we can't get this, or they can't get that kid off of that guy.
And that's great on him, seizing his opportunity. And you got to they can put you in a position to be successful, but you got to execute. You got to go and rap.
Mm-hmm.
You got to come downhill. You can't just be standing there waiting. So great job.
So now you guys are 3-0 in district. And this was, record-wise, this was your toughest opponent, and y'all were able to step up and rise to the challenge. Was there any talk before the game how important that this game was to the overall goal of y'all winning district?
Well, we always have our meetings before the games, and coach really said for this specific game, we have to be almost close to perfect, because it's such a huge game. We have to win this specific game. We have to beat Brandeis. We have to really prove a point. We really have to go in with the right mindset so that we can execute, so that we can, really follow up the success we had last year.
Okay. Any questions, Coach?
I'm good.
Next week, y'all have Churchill coming up. Any personal significance in this game for either of you going up against them?
Well, we have a few friends at Churchill, and our new teammate Michael Doty comes from Churchill, so we all can ball out for him. Sure, it's personal at times, but it's always a good spirit, but it won't change how we are. It won't change our practice habits. We're still going to come out. We're still going to practice really hard. We're still going to get better each and every day.
Right.
1 week at a time, man. 1 week at a time.
That's right.
Definitely. I see I was looking at your schedule right now. The schedule makers really didn't do y'all favors on your bye week. Y'all still have a couple more weeks. How are your bodies feeling right now? And y'all have, like I said, Churchill coming up on the 1st. Are y'all doing anything special? Because y'all play very intense. Like I said, you were flying around. and I know everybody's gonna be. They have to try to knock Cannon's head off because of how big he is. So, how are y'all doing in like prepping your bodies and taking care of yourself for the season?
I would say the best thing that we've been able to do thus far is listen to what the coaches have to say about that. They tell us to ice, they tell us to stretch. If we listen to what the coaches tell us to do, if we trust the process, we will eventually succeed.
Absolutely. Also, our coaches always have a plan for us. Like all of our coaches have a method to the madness. They know what our bodies are feeling and they take care of us. They always know when's a little bit too much or when it's time to start getting better and start to push. But our coaches do a really good job of taking care of our bodies.
That's great. That's great to hear, man.
All right, fellas. Hey, can I get y'all to plug your social media so we can see so people can know exactly where to get in contact with y'all?
Sir, my Twitter handle is at Canaan Fairly.
My Twitter handle is at CJ Adair 5.
All right.
And my Instagram is CJ Adair 45.
CJ Adair 45 on IG.
Yes, sir. I think it's just CJ Adair actually. C.J. Adair. There we go. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Right. Hey man, we definitely want to thank y'all again for giving us your time this Sunday. Did you have anything to say before going
sir,
out?
Man. Just good luck along the way. Stay healthy and
stay focused.
Stay on them books, man.
Yeah, definitely. Stay focused and I want to say beat Churchill, but then I know Churchill will.
One game at a time, brother.
Yeah, one game at a time.
Ain't no, but just go in there and be humble, and take care of business.
Exactly. Hey, y'all, just stay the path, have fun, and enjoy it.
All right, thank you, sir.
Hey, thank y'all so much.
All right, guys.
Appreciate it.
Awesome.
Very humble cats, man.
Yeah, very, very well coached. That was one thing that I saw in that game was the adjustments that were made because Brandeis was able to run the ball very well in the first half.
Yeah.
And then the second half, it was just, okay, that's it.
Yeah.
You know, and it became a game of field position and, you know, little opportunities that their quarterback was able to take advantage of in the secondary, find some of those matchups. Cannon had two catches for like 100 plus yards. So,
yeah.
You know, if you're able to find those moments and then their running game took over, because Brandeis on the other side also had been locked up until that fourth quarter. And then it was like the floodgates.
Yeah. And losing Evans on their end, you know, because Evans has a deep threat. You know, he can throw the ball deep, you know what I'm saying? And it kind of takes away from them really launching the ball. They have to settle for so many short yardage passes more than anything. So it's a change for them, man.
Right.
It really is.
Right. Props to Coach Soto being able to go over there and continue Johnson's dominance. Because a lot of times if you go into a program that already has a little bit of success and you're taking over,
yeah,
you know, there can be. I'm glad he said that. You know,
well, we knew that was going to happen because look what he had built in San Marcos right before he left. You know what I mean? He had a program going in the right direction out there, and I mean, they had beautiful facilities out there. He had everything he needed out there to have a great team. So when he came to Johnson, I know he took a little bit of that and tried to bring it over here and utilize the resources he had here in town. And look what he's built now.
Yeah, so they are 3-0 in district. Let's take a look at their district real quick. I know you don't have that graphic, Joe, but we're gonna just look at the district right now. You got Madison sitting at 2-0, Reagan at 2-0, Johnson at 3-0, Brandeis at 2-1, Roosevelt at 2-1, Clark at 1-2, Churchill at 0-2, Lee at 0-3, and Mack at 0-3. Any surprises to you?
O'Connor, man. I mean, which one?
Oh, I'm looking at Johnson's district.
Johnson's district. I didn't see
you got Madison. It's the orange one. Madison.
Yeah.
It's pretty much on schedule.
Yeah, pretty much the way we thought it would shape out.
Exactly. So now you got Johnson taking on Churchill next week. A game that we would talk about. Well, we could talk about it right now. Coming up, Reagan plays Brandeis. No, Reagan plays Madison next week.
That'll be a good defensive battle.
Yes.
That'll be a good defensive battle.
And I saw Madison players at this game doing some scouting. I love that part. I love seeing when what players are scouting what teams at other games.
And that's what it's gonna come down to, man. I mean, it's gonna come down to the last week, the last 2 weeks of the season for that district to see who's really gonna wrap it up. I mean, because anything can happen with those 4 teams on top.
So are these 4 schools, Madison, Reagan, Johnson, Brandeis, you feel that's how it finishes out, or can Clark's been giving people fights? Is it just not ready yet?
They have, and I think that they're gonna be one of those dark horse teams. You know what I mean? They can possibly slip in there someplace. So but, you have Roosevelt too playing some decent ball, but it's the consistency week in and week out. You know what I mean? You'll see that here in the next 2 or 3 weeks of where it's going to go. Right now, it's still early, but I think here in the next couple of weeks, you'll really know what team's going to take over the districts. Because a lot of these losses are really, out of district losses. And sometimes you schedule those tougher opponents so that you can see how your team responds, see what your scheme look like. So going in the district, you may lose a nail biter. You know what I mean? There might be a nail biter you're going to lose right away, but you also have another either 6 to 8 more games in that district. You know what I mean? So it all depends, man. So I say here in the next few weeks, we'll really
it's going to come down to those last 2 games.
Yeah, but as far as consistency going in and week out, I mean, you're seeing Johnson and Brandeis for sure.
Yeah,
coming up, and Madison starting to get rolling finally. But
that
consistency is what you're looking for, and that's what wins you ball games. Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Let's look at SAISD real quick. The purple one, you see it?
Yeah.
All right, we got Lanier at 2-0. Brackenridge, I'm just giving the district records. Brackenridge at 3-0. You got Burbank at 2-1. Edison at 2-1. Highlands at 1-1. Memorial at 1-2. Sam at 1-2. Jefferson 0-2. Kennedy at 0-3. I think I'm definitely wrong when it comes to this district. I mean, I know they're only two or 3 games in, but I did not have Edison at 2-1 right now.
Yeah.
But props to them for being able to pull together as a squad. Speaking about going through adversity, when you have one of your captains go down, and you're still able to push through.
Yeah.
Props to Edison for doing that.
And then no surprise with Lanier. I mean, Lanier is always putting out in Brackenridge. That's another district where those top 2 end up being 1-2. It's really who else is going to slip in as far as a Burbanker and Edison. There's a really possibility that Edison, the way they got things rolling right now, because they're having to think out of the box with Brett Gonzalez going down, is a lot of people are stepping up.
Yeah.
And sometimes look at Clemens. Sometimes injuries. Yeah, you hate to see it for a kid, but as a team, sometimes it makes you step up and you start doing things. I mean, Clemens lost a couple of seniors on their end as far as a quarterback and got on the defense side of the ball, and look what happens. They got a development now of Alvarez and a DeBose combination going. They're sophomores, guys stepping up early, and they're winning ball games. They just won a huge ball game against Judson. So it's a tough loss with Gonzalez out, but at the same time, like I said, Bears they're stepping up right now.
Yeah. So let's segue over to the top 25 because you brought up Clemens. So I definitely want to get over here and talk about the top 25 rankings that I put out at 11 o'clock this morning.
I wish Sam Houston would get something going. They had gotten that coach out from Duncanville.
Yeah.
Came down.
Coach Stewart
did a huge change in the weight room there and try to get things going. It's just like, man, we got to have somebody buying the system out there.
So, top 25, and we are going to go from bottom to the top. 25, Judson. They just lost to Clemens. This is I don't know. I try not to be disappointed in Judson, but because I mean, like, I'm not on the team, but it's just when you have a school like this that's represented San Antonio for such a long time, when something like that is off, it can often seem like something in the city's off. Does that make sense?
Not necessarily.
Maybe that's just me personally.
Yeah,
That's
I
just me
think it's a
personally.
It's one of those years where, hey, they did lose a lot of guys, crucial guys in the that they had, Rashad, and they had Sincere, and they had the Marvin, and they had Xavier Spencer. They had guys like that that contributed early.
Right.
Think about it. You heard about Rashad for what, 3-4 years?
Yeah.
5 years. I mean, 4 years. 4 years for sure. He started his freshman year, started playing a little bit of running back, but really the last 3 years he had a huge impact.
Yeah.
Same thing with DeMarvin, and same thing with Sincere.
Right.
Then you had quarterback. Was that Lamar?
Oh, Michael.
You had Michael
Chandler.
Yeah, for a long time there, contributing really early. Sometimes you have to rebuild. There's going to be rebuilding year.
Yeah.
And now
and this is just what it looks like.
Exactly, and this is what it looks like. You got Evans, who's young still. You got Burrows is the only one who's a little. But you got a lot of young guys still stepping up, and it's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough to accept, but every team goes through it, man.
Right.
You know what I mean? It was just one of those years, and not only that, you're in Converse, man. Right next to Converse, what do you got? You got Clemens, you got Steele. You got a lot of kids that are transferring out nowadays, man. They're almost treating it like the college game, like it's a transfer portal. It doesn't go my way. Kids don't want to grind it out and get it out the mud anymore. They want to hurry up and transfer. You know what I mean? So when you get that, you start getting watered down teams in your community. And that's what it is.
So Judson at 25, and that could be an hour-long conversation. So anyway, move on. Number 24, Clemens. That's a team that is bubbling. Can we look at our social media as well? I want to look at it real quick. That's a team that's bubbling. They've been in some good games, and when you beat Judson, and I said it last week on the show. I said it on the pre-show that I thought that was a setup for Judson to lose that game. Like, I thought they just had the pieces, and I thought that the same things that were happening in the beginning of the season, other than the DeSoto game, reared its head again versus Clemens, and it cost them.
Yeah, it's deeper than just football. There's other things going on with that program, possible, and they just got to get themselves together and regroup and be like, hey man, it's still early enough that we can still go get a district title. You know what I mean? Because they've only lost one in district, correct?
Two. New Braunfels and
Clemens.
So
man, they gotta wake up, man.
All right. So Clemens, congrats on beating Judson, doing what you're supposed to do, and taking advantage of what you're better at than them, and that connection, Alvarez and DeBose.
Yeah.
And them putting Dudley came up with the interception, number 3. So that was a big thing too, because I really like that kid too. Number 23, Somerset. They took a fall after losing Aquero.
That was a shock. I didn't expect them to go down like that, man. I said, it's gonna be a good game. They should battle, but hey, reality check. They see where they're at. They know what they got to improve on, and hopefully they bounce back, man.
Exactly. So 23, Somerset. Number 22, making the comeback into the top 25, Roosevelt at 3-2. They were able to take care of business this past weekend, and props to them. Once again, Brennan Carroll had another 100-yard game. I could see him continuing to run for 100+ yards. He's got the skill, and they got the focus to make sure that they're making that a big part of their game. And a run game with a defense like them, if they can just pick it up and keep it going once they start playing those bigger teams in district, they can be a threat.
Yeah.
They can be a threat. Just got to, like I said at the beginning of the season with them, they just got to maintain doing the positive things consistently. Brackenridge 4-1 with their first entry into the top 25. Congrats to Brackenridge. They took care of business this past week as well. John Jay, that was the game.
Yeah, man.
That you called. I'm gonna stop saying that. That was a game that you called.
Yeah.
Because I had Jay beating Holmes, but Holmes took care of business.
Yeah, that was a Thursday night game. I was like, you know what? I don't even got to send that in. I already called in that W.
Wow, see.
I mean, I'm just being honest, man. We talked about those.
So Jay, I expect them to bounce back. They've showed a little bit of resilience. So 19 Harlandale, they took the loss to Vets Memorial. That was a nice game to see, though.
Yeah,
that was a nice game to see. 18 Reagan, and Reagan, like I said, this week they have Madison. They could definitely shoot up the rankings. Really, they've just been in some tough games, and when you're a squad like them, your losses aren't necessarily bad losses to the squads that you've lost to. It's just been the record, and they had an early bye week, so I definitely expect them to come back fresh and be ready for this second half of their season.
Yeah.
17 on a bye week this week was Southwest Legacy, so they maintained. Actually, they went up one spot to 17 from 18. And Bernie Champion played against El Campo and took a L. They are down 11 spots. They are now 4-1. There's no shame in losing El Campo when you have some of the athletes that they have, as was on display.
Yeah, man.
So I mean, it's just luck of the draw, and that's another one of them games. We constantly continue to say it. Who you play matters.
Yeah, man.
And if you take a L, then you're better for it now than it being in the playoffs.
What they did is that they're setting themselves up later. I mean, they're playing a team from Houston area.
Mm-hmm.
A great running back in Ruben Owens. And later on, they know they're going to face something like that later on in the playoffs, so they know how to adjust. You know what I mean? Yeah, they took an L early, but later on, they know how to adjust.
Next up, Marshall. Marshall beat O'Connor.
Yeah.
41. I'm sorry, they're now 4-1. But yeah, that's another school in transition and trying to figure things out. Is it O'Connor?
That's almost like talking about Judson. Like, what's going on over there?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is it another rebuilding year for them?
Yeah. It does feel like it's 1999 again, like with some of these scores. Let's see. Vets Memorial 3-2. They took care of Harlandale. They are up 9 spots. Number 13 Holmes. They took care of John Jay. They are up 11 spots. They're at number 13, 4-1 now on the season. Lanier up 6 spots. They are at number 12 at 4-0 on the season. Let's see. New Braunfels took the L to Smithson Valley this past week.
Oh, yeah. Called that one, too. I told you Coach Hill was going to have them boys ready.
Which was really I loved how new Braunfels came out and how they were warming up and everything out there. And at the stadium, I was like, I think New Braunfels will win. And then, it didn't happen. But they were up and they fought the entire game. It wasn't like there was any heads dragging or anything like that. So you try to take some of the positives out of it. But those were the observations that you like to see when you're in that competition, because that's the type of games that I think those kids expect themselves to be in and have those type of opportunities to put their school in a position to be, one of the best in the city. All right. Number 10, Central Catholic put up a 50-piece nugget.
Yeah.
That game was over in the second quarter.
Yes, sir.
But props to them for keeping that O on the board. I love seeing that.
Yeah, there was a lot of effort. There was guys that needed to play. They got some PT, and not only that, it helps out as a as a team later on, come playoff time, that these guys were able to get in some of these ball games whenever they're up.
Number 9, Floresville. And who? If you're a Floresville fan, I hope you have like a doctor's appointment to check your blood pressure on a weekly basis, because they keep getting in these games that are just like nail biters.
It should be called "Get Your Popcorn."
They
need to put that in their slogan somehow. Get your popcorn, because hey,
it's gonna be entertaining. It's gonna be entertaining. Next up on a bye week, Madison. They're up 2 spots. And next week, like we said, they play Reagan. Alamo Heights, 7-0 victory over Wimberley.
Yeah, man, they're tough. They're a tough squad, man. They got things rolling over there, and it looks defensively. I mean, to have a goose egg on them, also defensively, they made some adjustments as well.
Exactly. Number 6, after taking the loss to Johnson, Brandeis. Hopefully, they have their full stable of quarterbacks back by next week, hopefully. So, I think that's always. I hope that doesn't just plague the school, just the quarterback position. But the second that I think Evans is ready, then you have way more options when it comes to running that offense and the capabilities of it.
Yeah.
So number 5, Taft, is up 1 spot. Number 4, Johnson, after their victory over Brandeis, they jump up four spots. Top three. I think these are pretty solid. Cibolo still at number 3, coming in at 5-0.
Yep.
Up 1 spot. They won their game this past week. Actually, that was a come from behind victory for them.
Yeah.
So that 3 was almost a L, but showing that resolve again. I'm looking at a lot of things differently this season.
Resiliency.
Yeah.
Resiliency.
Smithson Valley took care of business on the road.
Yep.
And they are now number 2, up 1 spot. And then, of course, you got the King of San Antonio right now, the Brennan Bears at 4-0, and they were on a bye week, and they come back next week.
Yeah.
So let's just run down the top 10. Brennan, Smithson Valley, Cibolo Steele, Johnson, Taft, Brandeis, Alamo Heights, Madison, Floresville, and Central Catholic. Congratulations to all schools. Props. Make sure y'all are taking care of yourselves. Players, make sure you are staying on your grades, because if you're not doing that, then you can't be there for your squad.
Nope, you cannot contribute. Take care of your bodies as well. Treatment. Make sure you're getting rest.
And we're going to finish looking at the districts real quick.
Let's do it.
Let's look at, let's go back to Clemens, Steele, Smithson Valley, the red top one. You got Clemens at 2-0, Steele at 2-0, Smithson Valley at 2-0, East Central at 1-1, New Braunfels at 1-1, Judson at 0-2, Wagner at 0-2, South San at 0-2.
Yep.
You know what? Maybe the only surprise is Judson.
Yeah.
Well, that's the only surprise there is Judson. Head and shoulders, any team for you in this district?
Nah, man. I mean,
that Steele Smithson Valley game is going to be.
That's going to be a good one.
Yeah,
that'll be a good one.
I'm not expecting Clemens to come out of this unscathed.
Clemens will finish in the top 3 in the district, man.
Top 3,
bro. I say they can pull it off. Defensively, they're great. They make great adjustments.
Yeah.
They come and play great defense.
Yeah.
It's just offenses where they're finding themselves and they're learning as the games go along.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I think it's working in their favor right now. I think they're seeing what works for them, what doesn't. Little Nate doesn't throw a bad ball.
No, he doesn't.
So
No, he doesn't.
I see them finishing in the top 3, man. I wouldn't be surprised. It wouldn't surprise me.
Top 3.
Am I asking for too much?
No. I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense, especially with the game that they play.
Special teams. How are they doing special teams?
They got special players on
Okay,
special
all
teams.
right. You know what I mean? So you got to win. You got to win all 3 phases of the ball game. You know, they got a decent special teams. I'd give it a
Right.
B plus,
Right.
minus, A minus. Their defense is a B plus, A minus. Their offense would be like a B minus right now.
Right.
C plus. But
the defense is going to keep you in it.
The defense is going to keep you in it. And like I said, nothing bad against it. It's just a young offense guy who's leading, but he's going to figure it out. And he's shown it each week. He's getting better and better and better, building more confidence. So as long as he continues to do that, that offensive grade continues to rise. You know what I'm saying? So
from the teams that I've seen of this district, I think the one that looks most together is Smithson Valley. I'm not saying that they're head and shoulders above, but if there was a number 1 in that district, I wouldn't be surprised if it's Smithson Valley at the end of the day.
It's going to be Smithson Valley still battling out. They're always 2 great programs that are great coached. Not only that, they both, they got great weight programs as well. So it's definitely going to be a battle between them 2 at the top in the district.
All right, let's go over to Northside. You got Brennan at 2-0, Taft at 3-0, Holmes at 2-1, Marshall at 2-1, Jay at 2-1, Warren at 2-1, Harlan at 1-2, Stevens at 0-3, O'Connor at 0-3. And I don't know if they're probably going to add like 4 more schools to that district. So, I mean, head and shoulders Brennan.
Taft's already beat Holmes, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now it needs to be what, Holmes Marshall?
Between Holmes.
Holmes Marshall.
Holmes beat Jay. So
so Holmes Marshall's going to be a good one. That right there, we'll see who's going to land and finish in that 3-4. Because I think whoever lands in that 3-4 will probably win out. You know what I'm saying?
Harlan given Taft a fight. Taft had to come back and win that one.
Yeah.
Is there a chance that Taft could have a slip up? Because they've been the most,
but think about it as a squad. They were in those situations last year, if we remember.
Yeah.
There were some tough situations last year, and that I think that whole team, they were young last year.
So anything to, okay, we've been in the situation, but how are we getting in the situation? That's what I want to go back and look at. I want to look back and see how they keep getting into these situations.
Yeah.
Because it's one thing to pull them out, but what's getting you there, even if you're able to pull them out? There's focus for you to pull them out that needs to be continued throughout that game.
Yeah.
But no surprises. This whole district is a surprise.
Yeah. Oh, Marshall started the run last year.
Right.
You know what I mean? Which bled over to this year. So you saw something was being built special over there.
Exactly.
Now Holmes coming in the mix was really a surprise for me.
Yes.
The way they started off strong, man, and that's great to see.
Because I didn't expect Stevens to be 0-3.
Yeah.
But
as far as Jay overall 3-1, that's good to see them back. In the mid of the pack.
Yeah, it's good to see it being competitive. If there's a solid number 1, all right, cool. But if that 2, 3, and 4 are up for grabs, then you know. All right, and lastly, let's just take a quick look at some of is Central Catholic at 1-0. I sent you that, right?
Yeah, you got Central Catholic at 1-0 in district, 4-1 overall.
Yeah.
Concordia Lutheran out of Houston at
St. Thomas Catholic, 1-0. St. Pius 0-1. St. John, is that the 23rd?
Yeah.
0-1. San Antonio Christians 0-1, which that was Central Catholic's first district game, and Antonian Prep yet to play a district game. So, how do you think this district plays out? And we'll just get over that real quick.
I think that district, Central Catholic should win out that district. Though they'll have a great game against St. Thomas, and that'll determine who's going to finish 1 or 2, man. Between that district, it'll either be Central Catholic or St. Thomas.
Will Antonian figure in anything?
I mean, as of right now, I don't see them being a threat. I really don't. But we'll see as the season goes along. It's all about staying healthy, and that's for every team in every district. Injuries can make a huge impact, or it could also have some other players blossom, as we spoke on some other teams.
Exactly.
So yeah, man. I mean, as long as Central Catholic stays healthy, I don't see them finishing lower than 2.
Okay. So now we're moving on to our pick'ems.
Let's do it.
And let me grab a pen here. These pens only write W's, right?
I don't know. I don't know unless
That's
you're
what-
second place.
We shall see. We shall see. Let's go. I'm gonna
And
go.
I do have the scores up on the screen for you.
All
All right.
right,
So what do we
awesome.
got with Bernie Geneva?
Let's see. Or let's go off of that screen.
All right. So Holy Cross. That was a Thursday. I didn't do the Thursday.
Yeah.
The Smith and Valley and New Braunfels. I had called Smith and Valley. We didn't do the J ones. We did starting with St.
Let's start with New Braunfels, South San West Campus.
There you go.
I had New Braunfels.
Where's that at? What page you got that one on?
It was my second page.
Oh, that's probably still on Thursday. If it was your second page. It's on Thursday's page.
Is it?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Because
Yeah.
mine starts with Davenport. Mine starts with CC Paul. That's what mine starts.
Okay. All right. All right. So.
So you got right there where St. Joseph, St. Anthony's, those come up right there. So I got St. Gerard. So I got St. Joseph's. Let me see.
Let's go off the ones.
St. Anthony's right here. And then St. Joseph. So I had took, I don't know where that's at. You see where it's at right here? I had took St. Joseph. It's on top. Who'd you have on that?
You took St. Joseph.
Yeah.
I took St. Anthony's.
All right.
Who won that one?
St. Joseph.
All right. So.
And then you had Central Catholic and S.A. Christian. You had Central Catholic. Then you have Davenport and Lockhart.
I had Davenport and Lockhart won.
I had Davenport, Lockhart won. Lavernia and Floresville.
I had Floresville.
I had Floresville.
Floresville won that.
Uvalde and Medina Valley.
I had Medina Valley. Medina Valley won.
I had Uvalde.
ULD.
Southwest and Rio Grande City. I had Southwest. Southwest won. Who'd you have?
I had Southwest.
Laredo Martin and Southside.
I had Laredo Martin.
I had Laredo Martin.
Took that L.
Veterans Memorial and Harlandale.
I had Vets Memorial.
I had Harlandale. New Braunfels Canyon and Seguin.
I had Seguin.
And Seguin won 28-21. I had Seguin.
Yes, sir. Eagle Pass, Laredo Johnson.
Eagle Pass, Laredo Johnson. I had Laredo Johnson.
I had Eagle Pass.
And Eagle Pass won.
Eagle Pass won. Let's see. Steele Wagner. I had Steele.
I had Steele.
Steele got the dub.
East Central, South San. East Central won.
Yes. I had East Central as well.
Judson Clemens. I had Clemens, and Clemens won.
I had Judson.
Lanier and Kennedy.
I had Lanier.
I had Lanier.
And Lanier won 34-13.
YMLA and Center Point.
I had YMLA.
I had YMLA, and the YMLA won.
Goose egg, congrats.
Burbank and Brackenridge.
I had Brack.
Brack won.
Brack got the dub.
Sam Houston and Edison.
I had Sam.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Come on now. I had the Golden Bears, and the Golden Bears won. Stevens and Warren.
I had Warren.
I had Warren as well.
And Warren
won 44-28.
won. There we go.
Marshall
and O'Connor.
Who'd you have?
I had Marshall.
I had Marshall. Marshall won.
And they got out with the dub.
Roosevelt and MacArthur. I had Roosevelt.
I had Roosevelt too.
And Roosevelt won 41-14.
There we go. Brandeis Johnson. I had Brandeis.
I had Brandeis. We lost.
Yeah, I took that out.
Divine and Luling.
I had Divine.
Divine won 19-0.
There we go. Blanco
and Three Rivers.
I had Blanco.
I had Blanco. They won 34-7.
Nice. Shiner St. Paul.
I had Shiner St. Paul, and there is no score up there for Shiner St. Paul.
We'll come back to that.
See. No, sir. Back to the top.
All right.
Kennedy and La Villa. Is that up there? Yes, it is. Kennedy won 23-6, and
nice.
I had Kennedy.
I had Kennedy as well. Cornerstone versus Austin Johnson. I had the Stone.
I had Austin Johnson, and they won 41-26. And we had that discussion.
The Stone, man.
Nueces Canyon and Bilverde.
I heard that game was canceled.
Was it?
Yeah.
All right. Canceled. TMI and Charlotte. TMI won.
Yep.
49-14. I had Charlotte. I took the L.
What?
Yeah, I had Charlotte.
Man.
Maynard and Harper. Harper won.
Maynard and Harper.
And I had Harper.
I had Harper as well.
Brackett and Sabinal. Brackett won 54-14.
I had Sabinal.
I had Sabinal as well. Got the L. Schulenberg and Hallettsville.
I had to go with Hallettsville.
And I went with Schulenberg. And who won?
Where we at?
We need to look it up.
Hallettsville.
Schulenberg and Hallettsville. Guess we'll have to look that one up.
Yeah, we'll have to look that one up.
All right, Skidmore. Was it Banquet. Where's that at one? We'll see that one up there as well. I have to look that one up.
Nixon Smiley Stockdale. I had Nixon Smiley again, and they lost.
Where they at? This mine didn't come out. It didn't print that one. I'll look it up on my thing. Who won?
Stockdale. That's an L for me.
I think I went with Stockdale, bro. Who won? Stockdale?
Yes.
All right, I got the W
yeah,
for
you
Stockdale.
got Stockdale.
All right, cool. What else we got?
Poth and Carn City. I had Poth.
Let's see. Did that one come out for me as well, or no?
I got the dub for Poth.
When was that one played?
Huh?
When was Poth and Carn City played?
The 24th. So Saturday, Friday.
Oh, okay, I had Poth. Who won?
Poth.
Poth won.
Did you have Natalia or Dilly?
Natalia.
I had Dilly, and Natalia won.
All right.
Edna versus Goliad.
I had Edna. I have to come back to that,
Yeah.
huh? All right.
Cole versus Poteet.
I had
I
Poteet.
had Poteet as well. Get that dub.
Poteet won.
Lytle versus Marion. I had Marion. Let me know you were a Pirate fan.
Who won?
Marion.
56-0, and I had Marion.
All right.
Jordanton and Catula.
Catula, who won?
Jordanton. Who'd you have?
Jordanton. I had Catula.
You took the L, dog.
Yeah.
Comfort and Randolph.
I had Comfort.
I had Randolph.
Randolph won 34-7. Bandera versus Manor Tech. I had Bandera.
Let me see.
I
For
got
some
that
reason,
dub.
mine didn't print out,
I
but I have it here. I had Bandera.
Gonzalez versus Gerald. Are we up there? No, I don't think they have it. Shout out to East Central for that shutout.
Yeah, Gonzalez versus Gerald.
Yeah.
Question on that one.
Dub.
No score for that one.
What was the dub for? What'd you give yourself a dub for?
Reagan versus Lee.
Oh, okay. You're giving yourself dubs, and we hadn't even got there yet, dog. What's up with that? All right.
Somerset versus Cuero.
Navarro Giddings. Navarro won.
I had Navarro.
Somerset Quero. I had Somerset.
I had Somerset as well.
They lost.
Pleasanton and Pearsall. I had Pleasanton.
I had Pleasanton. They won.
Yes, sir.
Bernie and Fredericksburg. Who'd you have?
Fredericksburg. I had Bernie.
I had Bernie. Alamo Heights and Wimberley. Who'd you have?
Alamo Heights.
I had Wimberley, and they lost.
Cal Allen versus Kerrville Tivy.
I had Cal Allen.
I had Cal Allen as well. Eagle Pass win.
Dripping Springs and McCullum. I had Dripping Springs.
I had Dripping Springs as well. They got that QB out there.
All right, so who did we not find?
All right, there was about 3 games that we didn't find.
I think Gonzalez was one of them, and Schulenberg.
Yeah, Gonzalez versus Gerald.
All right, let's see what that is. You want to look up one, and I look up one?
Let's see.
I'll look at the Schulenberg one.
When you need technology and it starts acting up. Let's see. Football schedule. Gerald lost to Gonzalez 25-14.
Schulenberg lost to Hallettsville 40-7. Who did you have?
I had Hallettsville.
Did you?
Jonathan Brooks, baby.
All right, so who lost on the other one?
Gerald lost.
To Gonzalez. I had Gonzalez, so that means we won.
Yeah. Let's see.
How about Edna and Goliad? What other one? Edna.
Did you have Schulenberg?
Yeah, I did. Who did you have?
I had Hallettsville. Let me look up Banquet. Banquet won, so I lost.
Edna beat Goliad 41-14.
Banquet won if you had Banquet. Edna beat Goliad?
Yeah.
So I lost that one. Remember, you're +3 right now before we read these.
How about this Shiner St. Paul?
Where's that at?
Where's the
I
Edna
see
one?
it, I
You
see
don't
it.
have the Edna one on here?
I see it. Shiner St. Paul.
Which one were you telling me about? That you found?
Oh, Banquet 1.
Mine didn't even come out on here, the banquet one. I think we're about over. Let me see.
St. Paul. Come on now. Football. Schedule. It just tells me they're 3-1, but it won't give me their schedule.
Yeah, that banquet one must have been from the Thursday one.
From
'cause I don't-
Thursday?
Yeah, I don't have it on here, bro. Oh, yeah, I do. I had Skidmore.
Okay.
Skidmore lost?
Yeah.
So that's an L.
Oh. St. Paul 1. Shiner St. Paul 1 over Magnolia Legacy. That was on Friday.
And I think there's only one more, and we're done. The Medina one. Shiner for St. Paul one?
Mm-hmm.
Who did you have?
Shiner St. Paul. And what's the last one?
Medina and S.A. the Atonement.
Funky Cole Medina. Football schedule. Maybe you'll get it to keep saying it doesn't have it. I have them losing.
Yeah, 65-20.
Right.
I had an L. What did you have?
I gotta find that game.
W's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19,
I had Medina.
20, 21.
Dub.
What was this?
That was canceled.
Okay, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29.
All right, so this was Bernie Geneva.
31, 32.
Is Bernie Geneva up there?
33, 34.
I don't know if that's another one that hadn't came out yet. Did you, or was that Thursday?
What was Bernie Geneva?
Because I didn't see it up there.
35. You looking it up?
Yeah. Here we go.
Who won?
Oh. It acts like it's opening up and then just it doesn't load. All right, there it goes. They lost to John Paul.
20-14.
Yeah.
Cool. Count the W's.
This Austin Eastside one.
I didn't get that. I didn't
No?
do that one.
Okay,
That one was what?
that was Friday.
Yeah. That's all I got.
All right,
That was Friday?
yeah, that's what it says.
Hold on. I don't know if I got it. If it was on Friday, I got it. The only one I didn't do was a Thursday. Yeah, I went with the shirts. Who won?
I went with shirts as well.
Austin Eastside Memorial.
Did they win?
I'm not sure.
Oh, here it is. Football. It's not giving me
Who did they play again?
Church John Paul Austin Eastside Memorial.
So it looks like somebody lost 38 to. Oh no, this is an old one. Eastside Memorial, right? Max Prep.
John Paul.
Yeah, they lost 38-0.
Okay. Austin Eastside did? Or Church?
Austin Eastside did, I think.
Okay. So I had Church John Paul, so I got the dub.
Yeah.
All right.
So let me see. What did I get?
Let's count them up.
I had Church John Paul too.
Okay.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10,
37.
38.
Wow, nice. So you are up +4 now.
38.
37.
That Judson one right there was the difference, I think.
Right?
Remember, I was going for Judson, and then I had last change of heart on Friday night. I was like, man,
And I
gotta
sat up
go
here and said, hey, Clemens will probably pull off the upset, and then didn't even pick him.
There it is, right there.
Yeah, so 37-38.
I had to trick you. You see how I had to trick him? Because he went for Judson, and I had to go back and
Yeah, to keep him off balance.
I had to because he was asking a lot last week.
He was asking a lot.
And I was like, you know what? I'm not even going to turn it into Thursday games because I already know what it is. And the ones I picked had won.
See? So this has been episode 130 of Along the Wire. It's been B. Damone and Coach Gomez. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at B. Damone and Coach Gomez at
STX7V7 on Twitter.
Hey, everybody be safe out there. Everybody, hey, players, keep up your grades. Keep up your grades and stay on top of your books.
Not only that, we're about midway season, man, and we're thankful enough that with this COVID going on that we've been able to still play,
right?
Continue being safe out there and don't take things for granted. Play every play like it's your last play because you never know when they can call the season, man.
Exactly. So this has been B. Damone and Coach Gomez Along the Wire from Level Up Productions, and peace. Hook 'em, birds up, 210. We out.